I like this fight, Kambosos Loma. I think it's a good fight for both of them and where they're at in their careers.
But I think this is the opportunity for them to become undisputed at lightweight. I think that's Loma's plan.
I'm a massive Lomachenko fan, but sometimes he's a bit lazy.
He is exceptionally skilled footwork-wise, his hand speed, his punching, everything.
Maybe Loma does stop him, possibly with his accuracy.
Well, I think Kambosos is a good boxer.
If you go on his last few performances...
Okay, welcome back to BoxCast. Today we're going to discuss the fight between Vasiliy Lomachenko and Kambosos Jr. That's going to take place in the RAC Arena in Perth, Australia on May the 12th, 2024. So probably from there it's going to be some silly time here. I think have a look at it. It's going to be 6 a.m. It's not too bad. You can get up early and do. Again, it's on Sky Sports Action, so again, with no silly pay-per-viewness. Should I start with the tail of the tape? Let's go through. So, Lomachenko's record, 17 fights, 17 wins, 3 losses.
3 losses.
And 0 draws. Kambosos is 21 wins, 2 losses and 0 draws. Lomachenko's had 20 fights. Kambosos had 23. Lomachenko's won 11 by KO. Kambosos 10 by KO. Lomachenko is 36. Kambosos is 30. So he's a younger man. In height, Lomachenko is 5'6", so 168 centimeters. Kambosos is a taller guy. He's 5'9", 176 centimeters. In terms of reach, Lomachenko is 65.4 inches, 166 centimeters, sorry. And Kambosos has the advantage by about 3 inches. He's 68.1 inches, 173 centimeters. Weight is, well, it's 135 pound, so about 55 kilo weight class. Lomachenko is a southpaw, and Kambosos is orthodox. What have we got on here? Well, I'll go into some of the other stuff later. Kambosos lost, but against your guy, Devin Haney. Twice on unanimous decisions. And
he also lost against Maxi Hughes as well.
Well, yeah, we do have a video on that you should watch.
Just letting you know.
Opinion on that thought. He was not great in that contest. And Lomachenko's against, I think it's Soldido, which was like his second fight or something, or Soldado or whatever. Iffy decision. Although, yeah, I think it was a bit of, like you've said, it was throwing him in too early against,
way too early.
Really, shall we say, experienced, and...
No, I think what that was it showed the difference. It showed the difference between amateur boxing and professional boxing.
But I think it's still a iffy decision, generally accepted.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we won't count that one as a loss. Then Teofimo, again... iffy decision. It should have really been a draw and a rematch. How they've given it all one way to Teofimo. I think the fair result would have been a draw because Lomachenko was injured, and then rematch and Lomachenko would have won. So anyway, but Teofimo would have been wherever he is. I think Teofimo got his payback by then going to fight Kambosos and losing.
Got beat, yeah.
Although, as our Teofimo fanboys have told us, he wasn't very well. So, and then obviously your fanboy Dave and Devin Haney, which again I think was an iffy decision for Lomachenko. I actually think the Teofimo fight was closer. I think that's the closest one out of these. Because he was injured. I think Teofimo did win at least 5 rounds, so it should have probably been a 6-6.
The problem with Lomachenko, he takes too many rounds off.
Yeah, it takes a while to get going. Although against Lomachenko, he was basically, his plan was, I've got one arm, but I can beat this guy with one arm, but I'm going to rest it for 5 rounds. And then
he does a little bit too much showboating sometimes, and I'm a massive Lomachenko fan, but sometimes he's a bit lazy, I think.
I think the problem is he's that good that, and he's technically probably way, way better than most of the fighters, that there's nobody at his weight class that he can fight. This isn't really his natural weight class. He's fighting at a bigger class just to have a challenge. And in that, he is that good that he showboats a bit too much, and he does it.
Yeah, and that's his
he's outboxing rather than like beating the opponent.
Yeah.
It's to outbox, and I think he's got to box to win the fight rather than do the things. But I mean, yeah, he is exceptionally skilled footwork wise, his hand speed, his punching, everything. And I hope he doesn't go in injured. And I think if he doesn't go in injured, this is
an interesting fight. This.
Shall I give you the odds though? Just again, guess what they are.
Loma's got to be favourite.
Yep.
Got to be favourite.
Yeah, well, I would have Loma as favourite, but I was a bit surprised that it is quite one-sided. He's like on this, they're like people voting for it. It's near enough 95% Lomachenko to win, 5% for Kambosos.
Yeah, go with that.
Oh, okay. And 53% is by decision and 42% by KO.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the biggest puncher, Loma, is he?
He's more, he wears you out.
Yeah.
He makes you quit.
Problem is George Kambosos' last 3 fights have been 2 against Devin Haney, where he got schooled.
Yeah, Haney's a better boxer.
And a dubious decision against Maxi Hughes, where...
Maxi Hughes was a better boxer.
Yeah.
I think his size gave him a little bit of a thing, but...
Don't get me wrong, against Teofimo... Problem was
his whole reputation's built on
there was such a big hype around the Teofimo fight. Now, I might be wrong, but Teofimo was just looking for one punch the whole fight.
I think
and George Kambosos played it perfectly, and he boxed perfectly to a game plan.
Yeah, it's one of those days where your game plan works perfectly. And I think Teofimo, to be fair to him, was off his game, and he was just looking for the
one punch. But and then
I think he underestimated Kambosos.
You know, he fought Devin Haney in Australia. And from what I've heard, Devin Haney didn't get paid a lot of money at all.
Not in the first fight, no.
And even in the rematch, had to go back to Australia, even though he won and was the champion, and beat you even more.
Yeah.
And then you fought Maxi Hughes, who fought his bloody heart out, and I think I had him clear winner by three rounds. I think we had
him by at least 2. I think I had 2. You had him 3.
I just think after the
Teofimo fight, they started to believe their own hype.
Yeah, he started to believe his own hype. He got a bit cocky. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind a bit of cockiness in boxing, but I think you got a bit too cocky, mate, and it bit you on the ass.
Yeah, he's not the best boxer at that thing. You're not the biggest puncher because he's got less KOs.
Yeah, and do you know what? He worked his way up.
Lomachenko.
Really
good for
well.
him that he won.
He worked his way up. You know, he beat the likes of Lee Selby and things like that, who was a fantastic boxer. And he worked his way up. You know, got the Teofimo fight, won. I was made up he won.
Well, to be honest, I was supporting him in that. So.
He knew he wasn't going to beat Devin Haney.
No.
But then, like
you say, we had that conversation off camera.
I was a bit of a fan of him, but then it's just his cockiness and arrogance. It just made me start disliking him.
To be honest, I think I was still okay with him because I thought Haney was going to beat him because Haney's just a better boxer. But I think the thing that put me off was when against Maxi Hughes. And then at the end, he was like, yeah, I won. And I was like,
no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
You really didn't.
At least be a bit polite about it. Yeah, it was a really good fight. And I think, no, I won.
Yeah, but he completely dismissed the fact that it was a close fight as well. And
that's what I don't like. It put me off about it.
I think Loma's going to take care of him quite easily.
I think Loma fully fit. It's going to be, he's going to make him quit.
I don't think Loma stops him.
Well, I think Kambosos got a lot of heart.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping he makes him quit, but I think Kambosos will go. But I think he's going to get schooled a bit like the Devin Haney
I think he
fight.
is going to get schooled, and I think it's going to be.
Decision.
I think it's going to be a punishing. But I would need Loma needs to come out from round 1. Don't give him blood.
Well, you'd hope by now he's learned the lesson
because it's in Australia.
Yeah. You've got to make it clearly when
you have.
Yeah, he's already had dodgy points decisions.
You know, you need to make it like Devin Haney made it in Australia. It's got to be clear. Just don't give away 4 or 5 rounds at the start and then start playing catch up.
Yeah.
Which is what Loma does.
He generally does. He normally takes at least 3
He
or 4.
can't do that. But to be honest, I think he takes care of George Kambosos.
Well, I think that's what most of the people suspect.
I don't.
Lomachenko is he's 7-50 on, and
I just
9-2
think, I think he's got to.
Kambosos.
If Loma wants to get back in the fight,
if he wants to get he's got to win this fight.
He's got
to win
it
it convincingly.
Yeah.
Because it's the vacant IBF World lightweight
And he's
title here.
He's 36.
He ain't got that long.
He ain't got that long. He needs to take care of Kambosos really well, and then start making some noise, get them big boys out if you want to fight them. That division is super hot.
Yeah.
As we've discussed before, super hot. And if you want to be involved in it, you've got to take care of George Kambosos. But same applies to George Kambosos. If he wants to get back and
he's got to beat Lomachenko.
He's got to beat Loma. You know, you can't.
I think Kambosos is a good boxer.
You can't. I know, and you can't count him out. But if you go on his last few performances, he's not. He's not at
the level of Lomachenko.
He's a workhorse. Don't get me wrong. I think he does work super hard in the gym.
No, he'll be in good shape. He always is. He's professional. I think he's a really good professional boxer. I just don't think he's that elite level. He's not a Haney. He's not. To be honest, I don't even think he's a Teofimo. I think that was a bit of arrogance on Teofimo's part, not really preparing, not underestimating him, and an epic performance from Kambosos, which has raised his name and game, isn't it? But when he's fought a real guy who's at that level, elite level, Haney schooled him. I think Lomachenko should be schooling him as well.
Yeah. Maybe Loma does stop him, possibly with his accuracy.
Well, I think it'll be like he's made us. He'll be wearing them out, one of those body shots or things where it's just an accumulation of punishment.
Yeah.
Because that's how he's most of his KOs. It's not really one punch. Even when he's fought the lighter guy in Rigondeaux, is making him quit on his stool. He's done a few of that where he's just so much pressure. You can't see him. You don't know where he's coming from.
Loma's great is when Loma puts his combinations together and really goes to town. Fantastic. He is absolutely devastating.
Well, that's what I want to see. I want to see the proper Lomachenko. I think he's been a bit off it in some of his fights. Where he goes at it properly, I think, he is exceptional.
Got to come back. Prove me wrong, Loma, because I've been doubting you the past few fights.
Simon is not a believer.
No, because every time he's stepped up, he's letting himself down. It's hard to describe because he gives rounds away, and he is the super. Every time he's gone into a fight, he's
cancelled against Teofimo.
He's the superior boxer by a long way, and he should be beating these guys easy. And he just seems to, whether it's his showboating that gets in the way,
size makes a little bit of difference.
Yeah, but
I think he's fighting above his normal weight, which gives you're fighting guys who can hit big. It's like basically what you're saying for featherweight for Inoue, isn't it? It's the same thing. If you're going up the bigger things, he hasn't got the power like of an Inoue has, or like a
no, he hasn't got the power. But at the end of the day, he's in the same.
He's got the boxing skill.
He's at the same,
level
him and
boxing.
Him and Usyk are in the same boxing camp. Usyk's always a smaller guy in the heavyweight division. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he doesn't showboat. He doesn't give rounds away.
He's more efficient and
Loma needs to do exactly the same.
He steps on the gas from the first round. Loma in this needs to step on the gas from the first round. He doesn't want to give rounds away because then you're opening yourself up to get a dodgy decision. It's in Australia. You're gonna you've got to clearly go like Haney did basically. It's got to replicate that and hopefully do it better. Make him quit. Somewhere further down the line, but just press.
It's a really good fight for both of these guys because they're both big names.
Yeah.
And like I say, to Kambosos beats Loma, it's a massive name for him. If it throws him right back up there. If Loma beats Kambosos, it throws him right back up there, and you could put him in the argument of fighting the winner of Garcia, Haney, all them guys.
Well, that's the next weight up, isn't it? This is lightweight, isn't it? So Haney's super lightweight.
I think they'll move up though, possibly.
I don't think Lomachenko is going to.
Kambosos
is good because he's big enough to do. I think in this you've still got Shakur is fighting there. There's, although we don't know what he's doing because he's got somebody else. He's retired allegedly, but he's booked a fight somewhere, hasn't he?
Fighting some.
And I don't know if he's stepped up in weight.
Isn't he fighting some no mark? That's wrong to say that. Yeah. Sorry, but
well, I don't know who's fighting, but I think there's been offers on him. He's going to come back in something. But I think this is the opportunity for him to become undisputed at lightweight. I think that's Loma's plan. Kambosos, I don't know, because he's a bit bigger guy. He may be able to go up, but although he looks like he's about that weight rather than going up much bigger. So I think whichever one wins, it's the opportunity to step up with the other guys and clean up the division. Should we actually see who was champions and in this world champions? Because I think a lot of these are vacant in it because Haney stepped up. Because he was the undisputed champion after Kambosos.
Yeah, I mean, the lightweight division is... Now, like I say, a lot of people have moved up from it.
Well, I think a lot of those, because like we've said, Haney, as we've said in past ones, Haney looks better.
Got Lomachenko, Davis, Zepeda, who's just been beat by... God, who's the British lad that's just beat him?
That was recent fighting.
What was his name? Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah, it's Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson are the two champions of lightweight. The ring is vacant. The thingy. So there's basically the WBC is Shakur and the WBA is Tank, and then the IBF and the WBO and the ring are all vacant. It's because obviously he's vacated. So there's a load of things there where you could clean up. As we've said, Shakur is one of our favourites as well at that, and Tank Davis has obviously they both got exceptional records, although Tank seem to be more of going up in weight.
Yeah.
I think Shakur still needs to do some work there at this weight class. So,
isn't Shakur fighting Frank Martin?
Yeah. Well, he's not that bad. He's quite well rated.
I was getting the wrong Cepedas, sorry.
Should we see what the ranking is at lightweight?
At lightweight, Loma's number 1, Davis number 2, Zepeda number 3, Stevenson.
Then Frank Martin.
George Kambosos is number 7.
Yeah. It's a different Davis is number 8. Barinchek, number 9. Abdullayev, number 10. Muratalla, number 6. So it's Lomachenko, Davis, Zepeda, Stevenson, Martin. And then, Stevenson, Martin. So probably one of them is the next one for one of these guys, isn't it, to go, and then they can unify. Or maybe Tank Davis is one for these, and Zepeda. Well, all of them are unbeaten, aren't they? And Muratalla is unbeaten.
Yeah. I was thinking of Jose Zepeda because he fought Dalton Smith. That's what I got confused with.
Yeah.
Just seen Zepeda.
There's a few Zepedas.
Yeah, there is.
Easily confused.
No, but I think Loma wins this. Shakur fights Martin. Face each other. Massive fight. Humongous fight.
Yeah.
And I think that brings out the best of both of them.
It would be really good to see that.
That brings out the best.
Because both of them are more boxers. I think Davis is more a knockout artist, or his boxing skills are pretty damn good. But it's not. I think that he'd go for knockout. I think it would be good to see Lomachenko Stevenson.
Yeah, that's an exciting fight.
Unless Frank Martin beats him.
I don't think he does. But, we'll discuss that when we...
Yeah, we'll see what happens in that fight. But that's probably the next steps.
Yeah, I just can't see Kambosos. I just can't see Kambosos troubling Loma. If Loma's on point...
Yeah, the only chance Kambosos got if Loma's not... If the age is starting to catch up with him, or he's not fully fit. He's had enough time off now to be fully fit, so I'd be a bit disappointed if he isn't fully fit. And if he's fully fit and on his game, he's the Matrix, then it's hard to see how Kambosos beats him. Yeah, he's got a height and reach advantage.
Doesn't mean nothing.
But he isn't in the skill level of Lomachenko.
No, he hasn't got the speed of Loma.
He hasn't got the speed, and he's not a knockout artist. He's got less KOs in more fights than Lomachenko has in professional fights. So I don't think any of them play into it. You've only really got a chance to link it to Lomachenko if he's fully on point. If you're either exceptional boxer Or you got the power. Because that's basically what Teofimo got his round, because he did have power to slow him down a bit.
Yeah.
Haney had skill, although I don't think he won. But like that was a close fight because obviously Haney is a very, very skilled boxer. Tank Davis has got the power, so he's got a chance. And Shakur has skill and a bit of power. So they're probably the guys who could. I haven't seen enough of Zepeda to make a call on him.
Zepeda beat Maxi Hughes, didn't he? Knocked Maxi Hughes out.
Zepeda's
I'm sure he knocked. I'm sure he knocked Maxi Hughes out in 4 rounds. Sure he did.
Yeah,
which is not many people have done that.
Fans, so, yeah. I think Maxi Hughes is a bit underrated, but yeah, I think that 5 is probably the top level, and then the other guys are probably a step down. Haven't seen enough of the newer upcoming guys, but like I think I like this fight, Kambosos Loma. I think it's a good fight for both of them, where they're at in their careers. Well, they're both big names. It's a big fight.
Yeah, it's big. It is
and
big
it's
fight.
for a world title, so a vacant world title. So it's, and I think then they need to start making those lightweight fights so we can see who is getting back to undisputed. I think that's Lomachenko's plan. That's what his stated plan is. I think Shakur, to get his name back on track, needs to do something like that. So Frank Martin is a good fight for him. It's similar to this, and then whoever is the winner can go on to probably these guys. I think Davis has enough of a name. I can probably do different weights. And then Zepeda's the other one in the mix, isn't it? So I think,
the Mexican knockout artist.
Yeah. And he looks like from his picture there, he looks like he's serious. So, and 30 for 0-0. So he's got more wins than all of them. So
yeah.
I think there's an interesting division there, Bruno, just like the one above it with the Haneys and we need somebody to start making fights and making enough.
I want the old Loma back.
Yeah. I think the old Loma's capable of beating all of them.
Just knuckle down and do hard work. Forget about your bloody showboat and then, look how fast I can punch and not be hit, and you're dancing and crap. Forget about it.
I don't think he'll be doing that. Well, maybe against Kambosos a little bit near the end, but I don't think, realistically, I think he needs to be on his game and do it. And against most of the other top 4, I think he needs to be on his game. I don't think he's going to be showboating against any of them.
Because you haven't earned to do that yet, because you've been beaten 3 times. Whether controversially or not, you've been beaten 3 times. So you can't do that. And they should have taught... Them 3 beatings should have taught you.
You can't take rounds off. You need to perform.
Be on the game.
As iffy as they were, he should have been more clearly winning in all of them. All right, the second fight's fine. That's experience. It doesn't really damage your reputation. I think against Teofimo, if you were that injured that you can't afford to give up that many rounds. Even though you did come back, it's realistically probably should have been a draw. But like if you're injured, stop. Don't fight in it. And I think that's why he has taken the time off to come back to do it. And Haney, that was a closer fight, but in terms of punch outputs and stuff. But I thought he won, but still. I
want to, like I say, he's so exciting, Loma, and he is a boxing masterpiece.
He's different to everybody else, really. Even to Usyk, he does have that little bit of extra, but it'd be a nice swan song for him to clean up the division and finish there. Or at least win so many of the world title fights. There's a good fight there. Him and Shakur would be an epic fight.
Him and Usyk are both 36, aren't they?
Usyk's 37.
Yeah. I'd say they've got 2 or 3 fights left.
Well, Usyk's done his thing. He's cleaned up the cruiserweight. He's nearly there at the heavyweight. Yeah. And whatever happens, he's had an epic career. He hasn't
Loma can't say the same thing.
He hasn't done enough for what his potential is.
No.
I don't think he's achieved it yet.
You wouldn't, Usyk, you could
argue he's over.
Yeah, and you go, he's a legend of the sport.
He is. It's a Hall of
Loma, no.
Needs to win these things. At least a few fights against a few of these to be in that category. And he is epic, but...
It would be a shame if he didn't get it.
Yeah, I'd say it's the same thing.
No, you Australians out there, I know you're massive fans of your guys, but... Australian boxers have been absolutely battered the past couple of weeks, so you need something.
Tim Hugh's going to be back though.
I think every Australian last weekend lost.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, the other guy got beat as well.
So it might be another loss for you. I think it will be.
I think the only way Kambosos wins is if Lomachenko's off his game. if he doesn't turn up. I think if Lomachenko's there, there's not much. I can't see any way in which he wins. Unless he gets a lucky punch. But he ain't really a power puncher. I don't think he's got the one punch to knock Loma out. And if you haven't got that, then...
Loma doesn't get caught. Well, he does get caught cleanly. And he has been on the floor a few times, hasn't he? I think Linares
caught him cleanly.
Yeah.
But it was more like, on his face, it was, shook off and then just cleaned him up.
Like knock him out the next round.
Yeah. He cleaned him up. And Linares is a very good boxer.
Yeah, extremely good boxer.
Yeah.
Now, I look forward to this fight. Hopefully Loma's back. Hopefully Kambosos. Like I say,
I hope both of them turn up.
Do you know what, though?
It's a good fight then.
The loser, it's a long road back.
Yeah. Well, I think if Lomachenko loses, he's got to... Unless it's like a dodgy thing, but...
It's a long way back.
I think he needs to retire.
Yeah.
There's not much left there, isn't it? Kambosos still got time because his age is younger. Yeah. So I think he can... They're still in the second
Problem is
there's fights there that he
could
make.
go on, you could say Loma is a big name for anyone, but that'd be his fourth loss. And he'd be coming there who needs him bracket.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if he loses.
Well, if he loses, I think for his age, you've got to retire.
Yeah,
then.
I think
there's not much. What are you going to do? He's not going to step down and
this
wait.
Is a must-win fight for him.
And then there's too many there's other big names there that are coming up that the promoters are gonna want. He has enough at the moment because of the iffy decisions, but I think if you lose to Kambosos, it's basically the time to retire.
So, how does he win? Does he win? Is it a draw?
No, Lomachenko wins. I think he's going to make him quit by round 10.
Australians don't quit.
I know, but...
Although Costa Zoo did against Ricky Hatton.
So quit.
On his stool. I'm going to go Loma wide, and I mean wide points decision. Yeah. I'm talking...
I think the more realistic is it's a unanimous decision.
I'm talking like 10 rounds to 2.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be
I think he's going to get revenge for Maxi Hughes.
It was a shocking decision. But
I think realistically, points decision, but I'm going to go for... he's going to wear him out by around 10.
I think if he needs to make a statement, he's got to try and stop him.
Yeah.
He might try and stop him.
I think it's just going to be an accumulation of things. I think he'd be clearly up by... He should be clearly up in a lot of rounds. There may be 1 or 2 he gives in the warm-up, but I think by round 3 he's got to be on it and then go. So, it should be 8-9 round clear, if not all
points
of them.
Victory.
Yeah.
But I like this fight. I really do like this fight. I think it's a really good fight for both of them. And it'll either...
Kambosos is awkward enough to make it.
Yeah, it's either going to be a Lomachenko... I can see it either being a Lomachenko masterclass.
Yeah.
Or a Lomachenko comes in under par and it's going to be a lot closer and nip and tuck.
Points decision for Kambosos in Australia, and then it's a dodgy decision.
And if that's the case, then it makes it very exciting.
As much as I love Lomachenko, and I am a big fanboy, I think if he comes and allows another close decision, and that's no disrespect to Kambosos, because it could happen, I think he deserves to lose and retire then, because you know what's going to happen. You have to make it clear. I know you're fighting a bigger, higher weight, but you
might be fighting a big higher weight, but if you want to move on to the likes of Shakur Stevenson,
the class, and if you're going to fight Shakurs and Tank Davises and Zepedas and co, you've got to clean this guy out, comprehensively win.
It's interesting. I look forward to that.
Okay,
I'm excited by this fight.
Yeah. There's a good month of boxing in May, isn't it? It's coming up.
Yeah, it's a great month.
I think it starts with Haney and Garcia, and then it's carrying on, isn't it? From 20th of April onwards. Then there's June. There's a few good fights.
What have you got from?
I know which one you're most excited for. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul.
You've got Haney Garcia, which is what the
20th of April, I think.
And then you've got
there's one in between, but then there's Inoue Neary. Canelo.
Canelo Munguia.
Canelo Munguia is first, 4th or 5th of May.
Yeah.
6th is Neary and Inoue Neary. Then you've got these guys, Lomachenko, Kambosos. And obviously the big, that slightly small contest in Saudi Arabia.
Fury Usyk. Was it then 2 weeks later, Better BF Bivol, the Queensbury 5v5 against Matchroom.
Well, there's another fight in May as well, isn't it? That's
what an
title fight.
epic couple of months of boxing.
And then rising to culminating in the epic Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. So I know you just can't. Actually,
great 6 months of boxing so far we've had, and it's just getting better.
Shakur and Martin, Martin are going to be in there somewhere, and Crawford.
But yeah, we think Crawford will be fighting
somewhere around there in June-ish, July-ish.
There's just absolute, and we've got Jay Opataya.
Well, he's on the undercard. Yeah, Opataya and Breedis is on the rematch.
Which, if you saw the first fight, was epic. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. It's just like, oh my God, what a...
Yeah.
I think every week there's a great fight on. And
May
it's
pretty
just superb.
And,
and I think April 15th, which is 10 days away, they announced the Queensbury Matchroom 5v5. I'm really interested to see.
I think that's just
there's two heavyweight fights, a light heavyweight, a middleweight and a featherweight. So,
and hopefully it goes really good. There's good fight because then it'll be in
from
Wembley.
What I'm hearing, Eddie Hearn has signed a couple of fighters on one-fight deals. Okay. But they're keeping the card very close to the chef. Don't be surprised if Joshua was in one of them.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. There's featherweight's one of the divisions. Heavyweight's in a couple of them, or two of them at least.
Oh, did you see, just going off topic quickly, did you see Joseph Parker's call out to Dillian White?
No, I haven't seen it. I need to
watch it. It's absolutely amazing.
I've seen the video slagging it up. Well, like somebody just like, oh, mate, what the hell?
It's absolutely hilarious. And Parker,
we like Joseph Parker.
Yeah, Parker, Dillian White, a great fight.
Yeah.
Parker, Dillian White, an absolutely
fantastic
fantastic
fight. I think that's probably going to be one of them. I think you called that on.
Yeah.
We've discussed that as could be a potential really good
But
fight.
If anyone hasn't watched Joseph Parker calling that, watch it because it's absolutely hilarious. And you're just like, what? Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think they're going to make it good, isn't it? Because then they want to bring it here, and that the Saudis have said for as a precursor to Riyadh season later on.
Yeah, it's going to be one at Wembley.
They'll do the same sort of thing.
Yeah, so a 5v5. So
that'd be cool.
Boxing, it's just on the up and up and up, and it's great. You got, platforms on Sky Sport, The Zone, PBC Prime.
There's only, I think we said this, is only Golden Boy who's lagging a bit behind, isn't it?
But I think I was watching an interview with Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya together, and they seem to have
sorted out.
So,
but we need them all on there, and then you get all the good fights made.
Yeah,
you need to make them, because what's the point otherwise?
I think they are getting made now, and they are getting made, as you can see.
We've spoken about
fights are getting made. It's fantastic for boxing, a sport that we love, and
we've often bemoaned before that the fights weren't getting made. Well, hopefully now they are, and we get to see them, and they are as epic as we all imagine and dream about.
I mean, even the domestic ones, those guys in British, we've had some fantastic domestic heavyweight fights last weekend, and for British titles and things, everything just seems to be getting better and better and better.
Long may it continue.
Let's hope so.
Okay, and on that upbeat note,
yes,
we will leave it there.
Yeah,
let us know in the comments what you think of this. Are we all really just Lomachenko fanboys, or is it?
Yeah,
there's some Kambosos fanboys.
Absolute crap.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Is going to be the outcome of this? How do you think it's going to go around? Points, knockouts, etc. Have we been a bit unkind to Kambosos Jr.? And like, subscribe, let us know, and then who do you think they're going to fight next? And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Take care.
See you now.